All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:38 in the morning of September 14th, 2022, and this is my pre-market strategy session. The title of today's video is Persistent Inflation plus Hawkish Fed plus less liquidity equals bearish stock markets. So even though I say bearish stock markets, I'm going to start on cryptocurrencies today with Bitcoin. Pardon me. And so here we go with Bitcoin. And this is a neckline that I put in around May of this year after it looked to me as though there was a head and shoulders reversal pattern taking place. And actually, if you look at the chart, this chart in its entirety, let's say after December of 2020, leading up to, let's say, May of 2022 this year, this is a Wyckoff distribution, and it's always nice to see a Wyckoff distribution end with a head and shoulders. Really pretty neat. Now, I don't know by memory or there are a whole bunch of different parts of the Wyckoff distribution, and I can't name them all offhand. Roughly speaking, though, I know how to identify a Wyckoff distribution. And here we have a convenient little head and shoulders at the end of the distribution. And the neckline that I put in here, I put in it around May, and it's really acted, the neckline will act as the sort of general trend, price trend of the asset. And one that I really like to point to a lot is Alibaba. And so here's the head and shoulders. This pattern, I've been talking about this pattern for like 2 years. This is like textbook head and shoulders reversal. The neckline, being the sort of guide for where price is going and where you can expect to see some support or resistance and so on and so on. And so you can see here, it's in Baba's case, it has stayed above the neckline, and then once it dipped down below the neckline was acting as support, even though it was descending support. As soon as it dipped down below that neckline, it is now acting as descending resistance. Resistance, which is makes more sense to people, really. If you're seeing something go down, I don't want to see it be supported on the way down. I want to see it get resisted on the way down. So. In any case, this I've had this neckline in for like 2 years now. Yeah, since November of 2020, of the year 2020, roughly speaking. And this thing is, you can see, this is what a head and shoulders reversal pattern is. You go into the pattern on the way up. The neckline is in the opposite direction of the pattern. The right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder, and both of them are lower than the head formation. It's my favorite reversal indicator because it's very rare that you actually get a true head and shoulders. There are a lot of people out there who try to describe head and shoulders, but they've got them wrong. There are basically 5 different parts of a head and shoulders that's absolutely necessary. I'll go over it at some other time. I'll dedicate a video to it. So here we are. Yesterday, Bitcoin came up to the neckline on, let's see, that was Monday. Was that the 12th? Yeah, Monday was the 12th. And then yesterday, tried to poke through and talk about a massive rejection. Kind of makes me wish that I'd traded Bitcoin. The only reason I really keep an eye on Bitcoin is because I mine Ravencoin. And this is really interesting. I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea why Ravencoin is catching a bid right now. I imagine that it'll probably be short-lived. It's Ravencoin is hitting this resistance line here. I've had this little kind of like laser light show going on now for a while, and it's just interesting. It's purely coincidental to see these things hit lines and stuff. Almost purely coincidental. There might be some people trading based on the same thing that I'm seeing. I don't know. But the reason that I started mining Ravencoin in the first place is because it is a fork. Ravencoin is a fork of Bitcoin. Basically the same algorithm that Bitcoin uses, Ravencoin uses, and it's I think 1,000th of the so Bitcoin is capped at something like 21.8 million Bitcoins. There will be no more printed after 21.8 million, something like that. Bitcoin have been printed. I don't remember exactly. Well, 21.8 billion Ravencoin will be printed. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just do Ravencoin. And I started mining Ravencoin almost, I think it's about 6 months ago now. And it's been really nice. I started right around in the February time frame. And so what's been pretty cool about it is, through this upswing, I had a really small mining rig going. And so I kind of started adding during the upswing, and I stopped adding after it started going down and just let the mining rig continue to mine. And I've been mining on average during this downtime right here, right around 400 coins a day, and to now see it pop back up to where it was when I started. It's delightful. My time horizon's quite a bit further out on Ravencoin. So we'll see how it works out in like 5 to 10 years. We'll see what's going on with it. All right, and so now the Qs here. The Qs closed at a really interesting point yesterday. This 293.54 is the low that was put in on the. It's not the close. It's just the low. And actually, I ought to pop that up to the close right there. And so it closed below it yesterday, and now here this morning, I think it's struggling to open up right above it. Yeah, it's trying to open up above it. I imagine that this is probably the start of the next leg down, and a close below this 294.37 will pretty much confirm yesterday's down move. So today's, to see follow through today would be really encouraging to the downside. If to the downside is encouraging to you, which I understand for a lot of investors, the downside is not at all encouraging. For traders, though, for us folks who can play the short side, it's encouraging. So, it's possible we get follow through today, and perhaps not. We might get a few days of a consolidation before the next move down. Either scenario is most likely. Either follow through today or consolidation, and then next leg down on Friday, let's say, so nobody's in the market long on the weekend or something. Tesla, yeah, okay, so the Qs and SPY, pretty much the same story. I have this support line here on the Qs, and the Qs are opening up beneath it. I don't put as much weight on sort of ascending or descending support and resistance lines as I do flat horizontal lines. I really prefer to trade against flat lines rather than ascending or descending lines. It's been my experience that flat horizontal price levels break through much more predictably and with a higher probability for trade success than the ascending or descending lines. So I'm bearish. The next level really to watch here on the S&P is below 390.89. A breakdown below that and confirmation below that means 362 is going to come into play, and then after 362, we're looking back here at 320, so yeah, there's a lot of price action happening. All right, everybody. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.